Hello everyone once again and welcome back to the Springtime Osmania Free-for-All Tournament. My name is Juan Crystal and I'm here joined with Arf commentating. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to see some of the matches that we have for this block. They're going to be awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic and pretty much feeling the same as you. The block of matches that we have right now are like really interesting, really close matchups overall. And the first example that we have is the first match that we will see, and it's Arkener against SaintEyes. Those two with only 1 point of seeding being the difference. Seed 16 against seed 17. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, when the seeds are that close, you can tell you're going to have a pretty intense matchup between these two. You can expect it to be pretty close, but something to point out actually for our viewers is that Arkener has actually just woken up, so that could really impact his performance.
Yeah, that's really true. He needs like good warm-ups right now. He needs to use every single minute and try to warm his like fingers up a little bit. And this match, this map pool in particular is the thing here for this match, because when seeds are so close and in a game mode like it's Mania, the pools have a really big impact on the gameplay for both players here. And I believe in that particular case, SaintEyes, despite being like the lower seed of those, is probably which has the advantage here, because with a map pool that is so long node oriented, SV oriented, you need a lot of practice, and Arkener, he is not that kind of guy that practice a lot of map pools, I have to say.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that. If you've got a lot of SV-oriented maps, or rather, if the map pool is something that needs practicing to get the hang of, you're going to need to put those hours in to make sure you can perform at your absolute best, regardless of your actual skill. So if you don't practice, that's actually a pretty sore blow to your performance.
Yep, that might be something for Arkener, because even if their picks, like the picks which he is particularly strong, there has some tricky ass beasts every now and then, so same goes for SaintEyes if he, for a reason, decide to not practice the pool. I can see, for example, Arkener going for something like asymmetry, which is like jump stream oriented, which is something that Arkener is really good at. SaintEyes, not really sure, but probably Over the Clouds will be a really good opening pick if he practices. We have to wait and see though, like both players still needs to join the room and start the warm-ups. Arkener is currently online, but he is like trying to use every second to warm up because he woke up not much time ago as offside.
Looks like SaintEyes is getting his warm-ups together so that when Arkener pops into the lobby, they can go at it as quickly as possible. Yeah, you mentioned Asymmetry being a safer pick, considering both the fact that it's more up Arkener's alley and the fact that it probably wouldn't require as much practice as maybe some of the other ones, especially over the clouds, considering the amount of technical SVs in that map. If you haven't practiced it or played it before, you're gonna have a bad time, really.
Yeah, definitely you will, especially with the long nose as well. You have like tricky patterns overall and tricky long nose, and if you combine everything with SVs, is a map that if you don't practice, you will definitely screw on that one.
Yeah, it is a ranked map, however, so there's always the possibility that the players have actually come across it before. Even if they haven't practiced it to their utmost, it probably won't be an unseen factor in that. But yeah, you're definitely right. The combination of SVs, long notes, and patterns makes it really challenging. Oh, and here he is. Arkener has popped into the lobby.
There we go. Welcome, Arkener. So let's see this. I'm not sure which maps are they selecting as warm map. I have like zero clue. Currently not in the IRZ. Oh. I don't need to know this map to know what is going on.
We saw this yesterday, different difficulty of this map set, but, well, oh man.
Yeah, it was Moni's warm up, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe he picked Base Drop Freaks, but this time it's Rainbow.
Nana Hira collection. So yeah, we need to be ready for a long node master race, and that's the weakest point of like Arkener, so it makes a lot of sense that SaintEyes is going for that.
Yeah, SaintEyes getting his punches in early. Arkener's just woke up, he's barely warmed up, and now he's going into part of the game which is, as you mentioned, the more difficult for him, an entirely long node oriented map. It's going to be interesting.
What happens a lot when you try to do long nodes like this is like you can't keep up for like the first 400 combo, and then you suddenly start breaking and you cannot recover. As soon as you break, as soon as you break, you get like destroyed by the map, because if you miss a long node, it completely changes your vision of the map and you're like destroyed. It seems like SaintEyes is, he doesn't really care about having long nodes on a map, but
apparently Arkener did not have the tiebreaker map when he popped into the MP lobby. Interesting way to start.
yeah, such a confidence though. I'm going to win easily, or I'm going to get destroyed. I'm not going to play a tiebreaker at all.
I'll just sight read everything, why not?
It's possible. I believe this map pool is a lot more possible than the previous one. This has SVs like a lot in most of the maps, but you don't have that brutal SV change that you need to practice at least once, like exhibition match for the previous warm-up, map pool. or Electric Sounds Lab, which was also a really tricky SV pick. Here you have like SV picks like Brickling in the Darkness or Over the Clouds, but they are like, it's possible to sight read those. They are hard, but they are possible. And for the other maps that have like soft SVs, they are also readable. So this is easier to sight read, but definitely not a challenge that you want to affront with no practice.
Look at SaintEyes go! Wow.
Oh yeah, he just dropped a 200, I believe in that, but that was
God damn
a
it.
really good way to hold that. Seems like Arkener connection dropped a little bit.
Yeah, I'm having some issues with him there.
Yep, seems like someone disconnected.
Uh-oh.
Well, we still have some time though to wait him to reconnect.
Mary Poppins gets me every time.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. I have no idea.
And also, why will you disconnect in a Narahira map? I have to support this. I have to hear this. Like for
No,
the time
please.
until you reconnect. No, please reconnect faster.
Connor, change the map. Change the map.
Connor,
Yeah, his
save your-
computer has been having some trouble throughout the week, apparently. You were saying one? Sorry.
No, I'm just asking Connor to change the map. Oh, there we go.
Ah, there we go. Much better. I mean, I can understand why some people like Nana here. Just not my thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but there. I have to admit though, but Nanahira, despite not being the best, it's better than a lot of bad stuff.
Well, you can say that just about everything, you know? I mean...
Yeah. I'm currently trying to think about the worst thing ever. For me, probably it's metal. Everyone suddenly decides to kill me in the chat, I believe, or something like that.
I like some metal, not all of it, but, you know, different strokes for different folks.
I mean, metal is something that I definitely cannot stand at all. But I mean,
Well, I mean, you can't just say metal as a whole. If you mean screamo metal, sure, I guess. But there's like a ton of instrumental metal out there too, you know. I think I understand what you mean, though. So.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, he's back.
yeah, he's back. But there are stuff that I'd really like to avoid. Like, I can try and hear some soft metal or something like that. Probably I'll be okay hearing it. It's not something that really enjoy doing.
I'm a big fan of melodic metal, but you know, if I'm having a headache, I wouldn't go listen to a thrash metal song or something, of course.
I'm actually not sure about which is my favorite, like, genre of music.
Pop.
You said pop or K-pop?
Did I? No, I said pop.
Ah, okay. Because if you say K-pop, I was flying into United States to punch you in your face. Yeah, I like pop. That's true. I also like tango, not gonna lie.
It is very nice.
I mean, it happened to me like when I started playing in this game, most of the songs that I like it are like really boring to map. So I was like, I'm going to change my mapping taste, my musical taste.
Oh god, why this?
We were talking about this kind of theme.
Yeah.
Oh, I get why people do like Undead Corporation. I understand that, but most of the tracks, something that I don't really love, is not that bad at least.
I really do like instrumental metal, as I said before. Everything will freeze isn't really my speed, especially like the speedcore-esque drums near the end. The guitar riff is pretty nice though, so plus points for that. The map has changed twice now. Oh, no, there we go. Poor Arkener.
Yeah, such a pressure, such a tension. Like you're playing and it can suddenly happen that your PC explodes.
God, yeah, that's just, it's always in the back of your mind. If you have a typically unreasonable internet connection or PC, then, you know, there's always a thought in the back of your head that, oh God, no, not this time, please not this time. I remember on my older PC especially, I used to get this thing where I would constantly get screen freezes, and you're assessing in the middle of a map, suddenly screen freeze. All right, you drop a bunch of misses, no worries, it's still a great score. But then you get a tiny pop-up that says "Score submission disabled due to system lag."
And no! That happened to me sometimes.
It's heartbreaking.
It wasn't that much of a times for sure. Well, Arkener is holding really strong here. This is the type of maps where Arkener shines, like constant jump stream and fast stuff.
Yeah, this definitely seems more his speed.
Yeah, but SaintEyes is not holding that much behind. He's holding a really strong 99 here. But yeah, I believe the moment when I feel the most tension or pressure was when I was commentating for the World Cups with a 4v4 client. I was like, computer, please, this time, we need to be friends, we need to cooperate. Please don't explode.
Yeah, I had similar issues because running 4v4 on my computer is stressful on its own, but I mean, my internet was also acting up on that day, so I didn't have anything else open. Like, I even had to shut down my bloody antivirus to make sure everything was running.
Same here, like DDR2 Master Race. Well, this is like a really good map to warm up as well because it's quite long. It's around 4 minutes, a little less than that. And being that fast, it definitely challenges your speed and stamina, so a really good thing for warm up.
Yeah, especially considering Arkener only woke up some minutes ago. He needs all the leverage he can get right now. So smart on his end, I suppose, to pick something like this.
Oh, that section always drops my accuracy because swapping into like 1-4s and 1-3s.
Ah!
Well, this is just... This could be better, I think, but this is cool as well. Everything filled with jumps.
No matter what game mode it is, I mean, unless it's like CTB or something, swapping snap divisors is always a pain to deal with.
I mean, in high speed it's a pain. If it's not a high speed, it's like just a reading challenge most of the times, because you don't really need to go that fast. I mean, for example, Taiko for me is like pretty easy to swap into 1-3s, but in Mania not that easy because, I don't know, reading might be harder.
I mean, the issue
like
I have with the Taiko swapping snap divisors, sorry to cut you off there, but it's, the random 1/6 is what really gets me. Like, why? Usually there isn't even a background beat that it's mapped to. It's there, and I don't understand it.
Oh, I get highlights from everywhere. Stop doing that, people from Discord. Right, but well, that seems to be the end for the second warm-up. In both times we saw one of the players with a really good advantage in comparison to the other. And as you can see now, the roll is really close as well. 31-18.
We had two 95s in a row yesterday, so none of that, unfortunately, today.
Whoa, why? Wait.
No!
Arkener is banning run. He's using my strategy. Oh, that's a really big surprise for me. Run was like the pick where Arkener had the most chances, I believe, and you're leaving over the clouds open, breathing in the darkness, being the ban from SaintEyes. That's like the map that no one wants to play. So
can you blame them?
Hey, I'm the only one that wants to play that. Such a complicated story of love and hate for that map.
I'm a bit sad that he banned run. Not only because I really like the map, but I mean, it would seem like something he'd be pretty good at, no?
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. I mean, I also banned run. I have something on that map that I choke every time. I just cannot hold a combo. And this as well, like SaintEyes going for last start in the universe is like challenging Arkener to what he's good at.
Yeah, exactly. It seems really backwards here.
I mean, this is like harder than asymmetry by miles of distance, but still, this is something that Arkener can keep up because Arkener combo ability is usually one of the best that I saw in the tournament. So maps like this one, where you can potentially choke, but the hitting accuracy is not that hard, Arkener definitely has an advantage. But
yeah, especially, after the warm-ups, I'd say this is throwing me for a loop right now.
I mean, maybe opening with an SV pick is not something that SaintEyes want to do. I mean, despite he's not really that strong on SVs as well, over the clouds as an opening pick might not be an option. But still, you have all the things. You have the Juikono map. I think it was Recital?
Yeah, Okutsumi Recital or something.
Yeah, if Arkener goes for that one in the next pick, I'm going to, like, I don't know, I'm going to do something, but that's going to be crazy.
That would just be completely backwards, wouldn't it? I mean, based on SaintEyes, I mean, the Yukonde map is really heavily LN oriented, not really SVs, but just long notes in general, especially near the end. So that would seem to be the better pick for him, but instead he goes for last star.
Yep, it's really weird. And as you can see, Arkener is holding a decent lead right now, around 1,000 points of difference. The accuracies from both players are closely to be the same.
Yeah, they're going through that section where the accuracy can sometimes drop slightly, but both of them holding really strong up to this point. Arkener slightly ahead, but not by much. That can always change, of course.
Yeah, Arkener is having issues holding good ratios on that section. It's really understandable because of the grace notes. But now we enter right now into the consistency section. None of those are dropping accuracy though. It's all about the ratio, and SaintEyes has a good advantage in that aspect. Arkener is not the best when it comes to 300 ratio. So if SaintEyes can keep that up, maybe he can steal that lead because the scores are flashing a little bit.
They really are. Despite that 1-200 difference between them, the ratio is causing the scores to flicker right now. It's going to get really, really close.
Can potentially change at any second. If Arkener drops a little bit of accuracy, if some of the players decides to miss, this will be sealed.
I don't think we're going to see any breaks at the ending, but it's like the last section. Come on. Who is it? Oh, all right.
It was really close, but Arkener with a 2,000 points lead will take the first point against SaintEyes with a better ratio as well.
Oh, wow.
A little bit surprised about it. Both players holding almost the same unstable rate, 113. So really equalized performance here. Arkener winning at the pick that we expected him to win, so...
Oh, and he goes for the Igor map. That makes sense from his point of view, really.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Some small SVs, but overall it's not as tricky as, you know, Over the Clouds or Brynhild. They're not even close, really, so...
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that it can be sight-readable. The SVs are kinda tricky, in my opinion. If you're not used to those type of SVs, you might get caught and like drop a miss. But even then, it's not that hard. So it makes sense. It's more like a consistency battle where Arkener has a little bit of advantage. The pick has a long no orientation, but not really that difficult to be an issue for Arkener, I guess. Let's see if the pick works for him. This is also really long, so...
Yeah, it's almost 4 minutes, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, consistency is going to be a factor here as well.
The thing about this chart is, you mentioned long note oriented. There are a lot of long notes, and I do admit, but the song changes quite frequently, and the patterning and the sections also change with that, depending on, you know, the background beat and everything. So it's very interesting to see, since it's a blend of different styles in a way.
Yeah, I get what you mean, like constantly testing different skill sets from the players. I mean, this is like the all-rounded pick as well, as you're mentioning, because it has a little bit of everything. You have like some streams, some jump streams, long notes, SBs. You have like everything, not in a really impossible hard way. The map is not focusing to make you drop in any section. It's just overall difficult.
Yeah, everything is, you know, blended together and a bit polished, like really nicely. The stuff fits together, you know. A lot of times those little SV changes, they can throw you for a loop, or be like, you know, why is that there? Just for the sake of having an SV. But it's something that Shoegazer also mentioned yesterday. It's, in this map, they really work, you know. Even if you're not expecting them, you're not gonna go be all confused and go like, what was that? You know, you can see it coming, and it really fits in quite well, in my opinion.
Ooh, I believe that was a drop from SaintEyes on that transition between the long notes.
Oh, was that a real drop? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I believe it is. And that will make 4,000, 5,000 points of difference here in favor of Arkener, which is really, really good for him. If he can keep the full combo, he should be able to take this point. But he's dropping a little bit of accuracy when the long notes So it might happen that he gets a combo break in any of the SBs remaining.
Oh,
Ooh,
that
there
a
we
real
go.
break? Was
I
that a real
think
break?
that was a real break. Yeah, that section
Oh,
is really
man.
tough. SaintEyes dropping a bit of accuracy there, but Arkener dropping the combo is the big thing here, and SaintEyes is taking the lead back once again.
Yeah, that combo break was a huge killer for Arkener there. If he'd been able to hold it, it might have been his, but
Yeah,
at
I
this
think it was a
point-
double node break, so it hurts even more. Oh, that was another break?
No,
That cannot be a break.
no, that's not. There's no way. That wasn't.
No, that wasn't. It wasn't. It was just client lag. Believe. But
Yeah,
scores are pretty
still.
close.
Yeah, they're pretty close. I think SaintEyes is still slightly in the lead, though. I think he also has a better ratio, but no confirmation on that till the end of the map, of course.
He's holding strong. When it comes to long nose, seems like he has a better accuracy on 300s. But the difference is really short, so a drop of accuracy here can seal the deal, as you can see the scores flashing for a second, and that was a 200 drop from SaintEyes.
Oh,
Oh man, this is so close, and there's like no map remaining. He needs to keep up until the end.
wow.
Oh my goodness.
Less than a
Oh, the
1,000
scores.
points.
Oh wow, that was a
Oh my
close.
god.
Oh man, that was so close. Like the scores at the end flashed for a second, and I was like, "Wait, Arkener taking it?" That was not the case, sadly for him, for the Chilean guy. SaintEyes will finally take the second map of the match here, putting the series 1-1. Both players winning in the opponent's pick. So trading
Very
picks here.
interesting.
We're going for a lot of das.
What's the title of this song? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know how to say that in English, but it will be da al cuadrado. Da, man, da a la de- But yeah, time for some da 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 da.
Yes, that's it.
So the Jack battle here. Let's see how both players do when it comes to Jacks. I believe SaintEyes has an advantage here. Arkener is more consistent when it comes to streams, but the Jacks here are not that impossible. The BPM is not that fast. So all of the players stand a chance here, like in every single map. I mean, scores are really close in everywhere. So, and both players completely nailing the first section without dropping a bit of accuracy.
This isn't really a map where you'd expect to see any combo breaks. You really got to watch your 300 ratio in this one.
Yeah,
At least from what we've seen previously.
yeah, and it's a hard map to time. It's not particularly easy. The BPM is not something that you play that much. It's not that fast, so you need to like concentrate to hit good score with good accuracy on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here, despite SaintEyes dropping a bit of accuracy on this section, if he can keep a perfect double S in the Jack section, he still stands a chance. That is the point where everyone should be having issues, especially if you enter late at the Jacks. Because if you enter like a second late, you will hit like a really bad streak of 200s. There we go.
Yeah, you
with the
really gotta
burst.
keep your... Oh, there we go. You just
Yeah,
had
the
to
rolls,
mention 200
Arkener.
switch to Arkener.
Whoa. Arkener is dropping a huge amount of 200s on those Jacks and in the rolls just before that. And
Yeah, I think
SaintEyes,
that's all she wrote. Those 200s, he's not going to be able to recover from that.
yeah, really smart pick here by SaintEyes. Doing really good on the Jacks for him. And Arkener, despite having the lead for all the map at the end, with the data streak, he got owned by the map on that section. And despite having it wasn't a better ratio. SaintEyes actually have 2 more 300s. But it was literally the same scores, just by the difference of that jack section. So yeah, 2-1 now in favor of SaintEyes. Really smart pick by him. Let's see what Arkener decides to go for, because now he has a symmetry, but the other picks do not favor him that much, I have to say. Like over the clouds.
They really don't. Yuikonu or Over the Clouds would not be his speed.
Definitely not. This was the map that Arkener needed to
Oh!
win. But he's going for Over the Clouds.
Alright.
Alright, man, there is a map called Asymmetry. You try that one? That is like really good.
If Arkener happens to lose this pick, SaintEyes is definitely going for Utsukumi Recital after this one. But who knows? You know, it's too early to tell.
It's the time where SaintEyes have to open his eyes and see if Arkener performs well when it comes to long notes or not. Hey, I'm talking too much with Daiki lately. I'm doing his puns.
You're worse than Deadbeat, you know that?
Oh, that's just too much. At least I'm not worse than Citra. That's something.
Okay, that's true. That's true. All right, here we go. It's where we have to see just how Arkener handles these SV changes and these patterns, really. Because it's not just the SV changes that make Over the Clouds challenging. The patterns and the rhythm are also somewhat off kilter compared to your everyday chart. You've really got to watch yourself.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it seems like SaintEyes drop it at the beginning of the map. Just because of the reason you were pointing, like the pattern here being like in a way weird, hard to hit. Arkener is still holding a double S, so he's doing fantastic on this one. Oh well, he's dropping double S right now.
You spoke too soon.
But he was holding strong, and he's still holding really strong because of the miss from SaintEyes. The difference of points here is like huge. This is not a really long map, and it doesn't really have that much notes despite having a high combo, because it has a lot of triple chords long notes, which like stacks combo out for you. So having really short amount of notes, the difference for a miss is huge. But here we go. Arkener is holding a really strong lead. I really don't see SaintEyes coming back here, even with a miss. It's like 12,000-15,000 points.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a section where Arkener might drop. But no, he gets only 1-200. And with that, he will take the second point. And this time, each player taking points in their particular pick, so... Well played by Arkener here, surprising everyone with this pick.
Yeah, much better ratio than SaintEyes as well, disregarding the miss even on Arkener's part.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, both players holding the same accuracy despite the miss. But even though Arkener was holding a better ratio overall, so he probably will have win anyways. But what? And I was saying SaintEyes is going for a symmetry. Okay. I'm not predicting that much today. Something is wrong.
Yeah, either my brain's not working correctly or just they're doing this on purpose. I don't know.
But yeah, we will have a symmetry. I'm not sure if it's called with 2 S, like asymmetry.
No, it's asymmetry. Asymmetry.
Why you don't play this map? This map is cool. Like, it's challenging because of the structure that it had, but overall it's quite simple. Like, it's mostly just jump stream, mostly an accuracy battle. You have a little bit of slow jumps every now and there, but they're not particularly hard at all, and I like two. The thing here is like the jumps on this map are split between the two hands, and that might be a reason for not pick this, because it might be hard to act, but still, this is like arguably the easier map of the pool.
Yeah, this actually hasn't been picked yet. In the last block, we did not see this map even once, so for the first time.
Yep, so first impression about asymmetry. SaintEyes is hitting notes really late. I wonder how nervous are those players right now. Now that they have the advantage or having the losers racket, the pressure should be like a little less than before, but still, you're playing a really close match against a really strong opponent for each side.
Yeah, the pressure's on right now, especially after the way each player won first on their opponent's picks and then on their own. It's just mind games are real.
Yeah, it is like the deciding point. If SaintEyes suddenly takes this one, the position from here will be awesome because he can lose in the pick from Arkener, but either way we'll go to tiebreaker. Same for Arkener, but if Arkener wins, it doesn't really have a big advantage because you have only one map remaining. It doesn't give you much advantage, but still he will have the confidence to like take at least that's the tiebreaker. And as you can see, the scores are flashing back and forth. None of the players are refusing to lose that lead. And SaintEyes in one of the simple notes, hitting a 200, breaking the double S, and hitting notes a lot later than he should be. Look at that judgment bar.
He's hitting early for me.
Well, right now he is hitting early, but he was hitting really late. He lost like 0.3 of accuracy in that because of hitting late. Just in the moment where he took the lead from Arkener. And because of that, Arkener is now holding a decent lead, but I believe that was a legitimate
drop. Was that a real miss? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Just before the slow jam. And right now, SaintEyes taking the lead once again. This match is really close. No one is taking the lead by that much of a time. And we're entering into the second chorus, which is quite simple. You don't have that much of a jump stream. You have like the split jumps, which maybe they are hard to act for some players, but these two are holding ridiculously strong. Arkener is holding an impressive ratio here as well. SaintEyes having a little bit of troubles trying to hit the nose in the center of the judgment light, but still holding the lead because of that combo.
Yeah, these patterns shouldn't pose really that big of an issue to either one of these players. So at this point, that miss from Arkener is just like it's killing him right now.
Yeah, but right now it can be a miss from SaintEyes, but that was from Arkener actually, just before the slow jam.
No, that was a client bug.
Oh, okay, that was a client lag. Okay, I'm fine. The scores though, despite the miss, are like not too far away, like around 3,000 points of difference here. And as you can see, the map is mostly streamed, so you just need to concentrate and hit them accurately. It's like really long streams, but not that complex. And both players are holding the same accuracy, but Arkener with a miss is making a difference here.
Yeah, you look at those scores, and if it wasn't for that miss, I think Arkener might actually be either in the lead or the scores would be a lot closer, that's for sure. Not that they're not close already, I mean, there's barely 2k in it.
Yeah, exactly 2,000 points lead right now. But yeah, if SaintEyes can keep this combo until the end, he should be able to take it. But an accuracy drop in a little bit of a stream can also change stuff. And as you can see, he dropped at 200 and Arkener has the lead on accuracy now. And the scores are chasing.
Close, but I don't think it's gonna be...
No, it's not going to be. This section is quite easy in comparison. And yeah, only 1,500 of difference here. Really well played by SaintEyes. Arkener choking here once again. He had everything. Look at the accuracy. Like he only had 4 200s.
Yeah, he had the excellent ratio, the low 200 count, but the miss, it did broke him.
That mess was the thing indeed, and only the Yui Kono song is left, and the really SV challenge. if you cannot concentrate yourself in order to like ignore the long nose and hit them properly, you will have such a bad time with this map. There are like a lot of players that I see banning this particular map. I'm not sure if you saw the previous round, like round of 64, there was a map, and Redstone or you. It was filled with long nose. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Everyone were banning that one, and I can see a lot of people banning this one as well.
Yeah, this song, the way the difficulty progresses is really both interesting and annoying at the same time, because the beginning is extremely simple. You just have to hold strong, and the patterns are pretty easy, but the further you get into the song, the harder it gets, and then the ending is just an explosion of long notes and just general nonsense.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we were talking about how Arkener might have issues with this, but we don't really know if SaintEyes will have like no difficulties with this kind of maps, because we saw him playing in Over the Clouds and struggling a little bit when it comes to long noise in general. So we have to wait and see how both players perform here. The end is definitely going to be the deciding factor here.
Definitely.
Like, none of these two players are like heavily strong in long nose. I mean, SaintEyes has the advantage, of course, and he just performing incredibly well in the warm-ups, but in this type of long nose I don't really see SaintEyes performing as awesome, but definitely having the advantage.
Those 200 drops from Arkener are really random, a bit surprising to be honest.
This song is one of those things that is ugu, but I like it.
I sort of like this one too. It's not as bad as, let's say, Bakunana Destroyer or something, for example.
No, definitely not.
I mean, when stuff like that exists, I can't help but not mind this as much.
Well, looking at the scores, they are flashing back and forth right now. SaintEyes having the advantage of accuracy, but Arkener holding a better ratio as well. Only 400 points of difference here. This is a really close one, but in this section, it's really hard to tell who's going to win, because the end here is the thing.
Yeah, it's a really long song, and then at the end, where everything explodes, that's really where you've got to watch who's doing what, because up until then, it's just a consistency battle. And then the ending, if you can't hold the ending, you lose.
Well, I really remember my choke on this map because of my keyboard. Oh, such a great time. Oh, both players are holding pretty good on this section, I have to say. Despite not being the complex one, still, this is challenging, really challenging. Those long nodes are not as easy as they seem to be. And each player holding a really strong 99.9. SaintEyes with only 1 or 2 200s, I believe. But now we're entering into the section where everything goes wild.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh, that's real. Both players nailing it. That's really hard as well. But this is the part, this is the section where everyone drops this combo and accuracy. But both players are holding really, really strong, I have to say. Arkener dropping 1 200 there. And SaintEyes completely demolishing the map.
This is so close, right up to the end.
But Arkener has the advantage now. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, he does. It's still flickering, but... Oh,
man.
Come on.
I don't know. If Arkener can hold the double S until the end, like the full combo here, but he might take it. Oh, you're a little bit ahead of me. Don't spoil me, man. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. There we go. That was an Arkener win. That was a legit Arkener win.
Yes, it
with
was.
With 3 200.
Wow.
3 200s of difference. Look at the ratios. 170 300s. I mean, 70. Yeah, 70 300. Oh, man. Arkener winning in the pick that we never expect him to win.
Just off that ratio alone. Wow. My goodness me.
Anyone has played a tiebreaker? Well, Arkener does not
No,
have the
not
map.
yet. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, no.
Oh, gee. This is the first time that we're seeing the tiebreaker, I guess. So we will have April number 2, which is actually in a week.
All right, all right.
But yeah, we expected a close match here, and we have it. Like a tiebreaker in the weirdest way possible ever. Arkener banning Run Run Run, winning in Draconus, winning in Over the Cloud, losing in Asymmetry. What is going on in this match? The only
Yeah, I
remaining
don't
thing is,
even. Yeah, go on.
I mean, the only thing that I can imagine now, Arkener wins the tiebreaker in a side read, and I just like, okay. But I mean, at least when it comes to confident boost, Arkener has a really big one here, winning in the point that he expected to lose. Even he expected to lose on that.
Yeah.
Like, this is that match that anyone could have predicted. I mean, everyone could guess that this one was going to be a tiebreaker because it has the potential, but who could thought that it was going to be that way?
Yeah, this has just been a lot tighter than I think anyone would have expected, even despite their seeds being so close.
So what can we say about this map? Honestly, I just played this one in the showcase, and what I remember is that it's like really, really long, and that makes difficult to combo. I choked on this one, so it's definitely not easy. The jump of difficulty here from the Maple is like huge. And SaintEyes is dropping a lot of accuracy over there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's quite going on.
But yeah, this song, if I remember, is like mostly polyrhythms. Wow, this section is so hard. Like, it looks so simple, but it's so hard to time.
Yeah, with the
SaintEyes,
speed being what it is. Go on.
yes, look at SaintEyes, like, he's 95% of AC. Like, it's like the chart is not following anything. If you pay attention closely, you will find out which thing is following, but if you look at like without many concentration, you will see like it's like, what is wrong with this map? Why is following nothing? But there we go, as the music starts to build up a little bit, you see how the patterns gets more sense. Let's see if SaintEyes has the room to recover here, because the drops that he had were almost unforgivable.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's a really long song, you look at Arkener and you look at SaintEyes, and I don't know if he can recover it. I mean, he needs Arkener to mess up in a pretty big way here.
Yeah, and SaintEyes is dropping accuracy on the burst sections as well. So he's not being able to catch up in terms of accuracy, so if Arkener drops, as he seems he just dropped.
Oh, was that a legitimate drop?
I believe it was in the quad notes.
And see.
And if he missed on that section, that's a big thing. I mean, it's the first step for SaintEyes to like come back. The SB quad catching up Arkener. And I believe SaintEyes is also dropping here, and Arkener as well, so both players are dropping a lot. In the SV section, Arkener getting completely destroyed.
Oh, those accuracy drops, my goodness.
And there you have the quad jump, the quad SB changes. But both players holding strong on that. It was pretty predictable. This is so weird because now the scores are not that far away, only
pretty
6,000.
close.
The quad section was the section where everyone dropped a lot of accuracy, but both players without the practice hitting them quite nicely. SaintEyes dropping once again the combo.
Arkener didn't even have the map, so I'd say he's actually not even doing that bad here.
We're reaching the last quarter of the map, and seems like Arkener is holding the lead by quite much, and that is completely getting SaintEyes. Arkener doing a fantastic job hitting that.
Yeah, wow, look at that.
There's no much song remaining. There's like still 300,000 points that you can farm up, but I don't really see SaintEyes winning this one. Whoa, Arkener destroyed!
Wow.
SaintEyes
that was
winning it.
amazing.
Wow. Yeah, that was a great section. And yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a win for Arkener. If he suddenly chokes like 20 notes in a row, maybe, but I don't see that happening. Or maybe his PC just shut down. Who knows?
I don't see it happening anymore.
Whoa, that was a huge drop though. Not enough, but it was
not enough though.
But yeah, this seems like it's going to be a win for Arkener. It was just client lag, so wasn't a drop. That was a drop, but still not being enough. SaintEyes doing fantastic on that last section, but still not going to be enough. 10,000 points of difference here in favor of Arkener. And mostly because of the beginning, I think, because if SaintEyes could keep that beginning up, maybe he will have a chance here. That's what happened when you don't practice the pool, I guess. But Arkener getting the last point, winning the tiebreaker here. Not by much, though. He had to fight quite strongly here in order to take it.
He really did. He even sight read the tiebreaker. That's wow. That was a really close match.
Yeah, it was a really, really particular one as well, because it was so hard to predict. Everything was like really, really weird. And that is what makes this match so unique, like so particular, so good.
Yeah, definitely. Both players picking songs that you wouldn't expect them to pick, and then absolutely shocking everyone with their performances on their respective maps. And in the end, it just came down to that, really. Oh, that BM.
I believe both of them are like friends. So but in the middle of the map, it was like really tension.
It really was.
Arkener
Nice.
casing the computer. You didn't.
It didn't fail him. It didn't fail him when he needed it.
So we have 5 minutes of break until the next wave of matches. We will have 2 matches at the same time, both being Spidu against meatmap and Kobo against the Mito. So we will have Spidu against meatmap streamed, I believe, which is promising as well. It's probably going to be a close one. Not sure if it will hit the tiebreaker theme, but it might happen as well, because the seats are quite close to each other, and both players have similar levels when it comes to accuracy in this level of difficulty. So I see Spidu hiding a little bit of advantage, but you never know with a map pull like this when you can choke everywhere, as we saw in this particular match.
Definitely.
It can really go anywhere. It's so hard to predict. That's the thing about map pools that I really like. When you cannot predict what is going on, what will happen, it's because the map pool is good. So really good performances there with the map pools for Kamikaze and Halogen. Really nice stuff that they brought.
Yeah, I agree. This map pool really did its job quite well.
What is it?
Alright, so I believe we're almost ready for the Spidu against meatmap match. We already have the first warm-up selected by Spidu, and it is Les Secretions Romantics Escape.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that because I've been laughed at by many French people, so I can that just fine, no worries.
I can definitely see CEO style, like, laughing at me because pronouncing that.
If that means what I think, okay, let's not get into that. Anyway,
Yeah, that is the secrets of romantics, of romance, or something like that. I'm not sure.
well, secretion is an English word, and let's not get
Yeah,
into
it might
what that's
it
all
might be
about,
that. It might be that as well. Yeah. Never mind.
but- right. Have you actually played the chart before? I'm not familiar with it.
Not at all, honestly. I'm not that type of person that plays that much on ranked stuff right now. I don't really have much time to look and search for that. So, it would be my first time watching this.
Oh, this is actually charted by Spidu himself, apparently.
So what can we say about these two players? Spidu is currently number one player of Finland, I guess. He is number one of his country. And meatmap from the Philippines is also a really good player, really consistency player when it comes to accuracy, but usually with some issues when it comes to long notes. So we might see him banning the Yuikono song or maybe Over the Clouds. I believe meatmap is currently holding number 56 on Philippines, but that's actually really good because Philippines has so much high rank players. He's like around 1,000 global, so he's really decent when it comes to accuracy and then accuracy and consistency. I will say that those are the two main strong factors. But against a player like Spidu, it's going to be challenging. As you can see, Spidu is really strong on this particular type of maps where it's like high speed, jump drill oriented. Even if it is his own map, he's holding a really strong act.
Yeah, it's hard to judge just based on one warm-up, but overall it does look like Spidu would have a slight advantage here and there. I guess it really depends on which picks they go for from this map pool, after the warm-ups, that is.
Well, that was it for the warm-up. Thankfully.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting song choice and map choice. Let's just run away a little bit and wait for the second warm-up.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a remix of Evans, not the Aniki remix, right?
Oh, I remember this one. I remember the background of this song.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez. This song is so funny.
I'm glad one of us is enjoying it.
I believe this was a dump map.
Yeah, I think it's a dump chart.
Oh, this is not the version that I played. It does have a particular background as well, but it's not the same one.
Oh, alright.
So it might be something else. Yeah, it's meatmap, beatmap, so...
Both players going for their own charts to play as a warm-up. This background, oh my god.
There you have the jump stream. Well, at least this is shorter than the previous one.
Very true.
Oh, that looks cool. Oh man, this song is awesome. I mean, do we really have to commentate how well players are performing in this particular type of maps? I don't think we need. Well, that's going to be it for the warm-up. Let's just jump to the roles. And please, Halogen, change the song. If you're hearing me, put something else. So let's see how both players roll. 79, 45, okay.
45. All right.
So Spider's going to ban first. Which thing might he ban? Maybe Brilliantly in the Darkness. I mean, that's the map that everyone bans, so... Spider, without having a particular weakness, well, seems like he's not going to ban Brilliantly in the Darkness.
He bans the Jack chart. Interesting.
Yeah, Dan over the clouds knocked it out of the way, which leaves Brilliantly in the Darkness open, which I believe is going to be the pick from meatmap if he leaves that unbanned. If not, well, figure. Okay.
Spider might pick it too. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. The Igor map comes up first from meatmap.
Yeah, figure fully. And this is a really trivial pick. I mean, it's hard to predict who's going to win this one, because Spidu is usually the one you're going to see winning the maps overall, because he's better in accuracy than meatmap and better in almost every aspect. Meatmap has a little bit of a weakness when it comes to long nose, and this map has some of that. But we saw Spidu choking in both warm-ups. I mean, he's strong, he's hitting really good scores, but he always has one miss. So if he keeps that choke thing in this match, this is a map that meatmap can full combo without many problems, I believe, despite having a long notes. So it's up to Spidu to see if he can keep up in this warm-up, this map selection. Damn, I always have problems with that. Map pool, warm-up, tiebreaker.
As long as you don't call a warm-up a tiebreaker, I think we're all good.
Hey, I did that. I did that before.
Oh my gosh.
And what you know what's funny? I did that most of the times in the Spanish tournament, so how? But yeah, I believe Spider already dropped his combo in a long note. He got a 50.
Yeah, it looks like that.
So as we were talking about, Spider seems to be that kind of player that tends to choke on the maps. Maybe he has some kind of mind block with this particular pool because playing it too much. But overall, despite that miss, he still has really short, but still has a lead. Yeah, the ratio from Spidu is clearly better than the meatmaps one, but the difference is around 100 points. Look at that.
Yeah, that's minuscule. Really, oh, that could change at any given moment.
Scores are so close, my goodness. And we still have Huddle map remaining, this 1-3 sections. Dropping a bit of accuracy from Spidu over there. Hitting the nose a little bit earlier.
Scores are flickering.
Yeah, but now the edge of accuracy is a lot bigger. I mean, Spidu's still fighting with his ratio to get that lead back to his hands, and he finally got that because of a drop of accuracy from meatmap. But still, it can change at any second. But that was a miss from Spidu, I believe, on the long notes, the short ones. And that is going to be huge for meatmap.
Yeah, given the length of this beat map, I mean, the constantly shifting alignment between the two of them, it's really tense. really difficult to predict who's going to come out on top in the end as well.
Yeah, and in this particular scenario where meatmap still holds the full combo against 2 misses from Spidu, and that was another one is the SB section, really rough one. And I believe that's it. I mean, meatmap, if he keeps the full combo, he will have the map for sure in his favor, but in the previous scenario where Spider was still holding strong, a miss could make a difference. Right now, I don't really see that happening, even less with the amount of map remaining. And mid-map with a really tricky pick, because this is a tricky map to get good scores on. Trying to expose Spider's weakness, which is the consistency. And doing a really good job on that, taking the first point in the favor. By 12,000 points of difference. Even having better accuracy, I mean, not even with a miss. I mean, 3
Pretty
less
decisive.
200s. Yep. So first point to the lower seed. And now it's time for Spider to pick something. I wonder if he will go for Blinking in the Darkness, maybe? I mean, one of the players needs to pick that. If you leave that free, you're going to pick that.
Yeah, I think he might actually go for Brynhilder here. It does seem to be something that he'd be good at.
There we go. Predicted. So Brynhilder in the Darkness is going to be the pick here. I think this is the first official time that we are seeing this map. Oh, this song is so good.
Destructoid! Destructoid!
Oh, I'm sounding like Destructoid?
Nah, you're fine, you're fine.
Phew. I mean, this map has so many spots where you can easily miss. I mean, with Spider being what he is, having issues when it comes to consistency, this map might not be the best. But being this map such a hard in comparison to everything else, we might see Spider winning this one because of mid-map choking. Also with the long nose. The first section of the long nose is really hard, really rough. And as you can see, we have mid-map still playing Figure Folly. It's going to be hard to commentate this. I'm not sure if this is happening on stream as well.
Yeah,
In main it's even funnier than stand-up.
I thought that was just me.
But yes, Spider's holding really strong. I really cannot say the same
my
thing
client,
from
but no, you've got Figure Foley on your end too?
Yeah, we need to restart the client. I mean, the map is right in a half right now, so I don't think that is that much of worth. We can try to do this. The difference here, I believe it is around 5,000, maybe a little less in favor of Spider, but that was a choke from him. So it's going to be a big deal. And dropping a huge amount of accuracy on that section. I believe meatmap as well is dropping his accuracy. I'm trying to judge because of the scores that I'm kind of watching. Oh man, this is impossible. I mean, I'm trying to do it, it's impossible. I believe meatmap is on the lead by 5,000 now, but I cannot really tell by sure. We have to wait for the Empeling here. You guys are probably watching it perfectly fine. But yeah, at the end...
I have the results in hand.
Bring it on, man.
Yeah, it looks like meatmap actually took that by almost 30,000 points.
Wow, I checking the scores. Meatmap got a 976,000 points. That's incredible, I have to say. That's a really, really good score on this one. I think it was a full combo.
Is. I think it was.
Yeah, his personal best as well. Number 22.
Very
Global.
nice. And there we go.
There we go.
Last
Yeah.
star is the next pick.
Last chance in the universe. Yeah, this is a chance for Spider to catch up though. Mid-map going for another consistency pick, another map that you can easily choke if you're not concentrated enough, trying to expose once again Spider's weakness. But in this particular case, when it comes more to speed and mostly a rough selection, a rough map overall, I believe Spider has the advantage on that one. But you never know. Midmap is doing a fantastic job here. And Spider is not being able to catch up as good as we predicted, as we expected him to do.
Yeah, he's certainly a bit rough around the edges compared to what you'd expect from his performance. But meatmap's been holding really strong, and even though we thought some of the other maps would have also been more to Spidu's advantage, who knows? He might go home with this one or let it go.
Well, scores are like flashing back and forth, like if it was a warning. Look at that, they're scoring so fast.
It's like watching a tennis match. The ball just goes from one court to the other.
An 8 tennis match. Yes, Spider still holding the double S and mid-map dropping the accuracy, and I believe the combos
Was
well
that a
right in that
legitimate break?
section.
I think
That is the curse.
Blame one. Everybody blame one.
Just before the column section, which is a Spider column is not particularly easy to accuracy on. Spider's holding really strong. I believe Shoegazer told me about Spider loving this map, or this song at least in particular, so
Yeah.
it makes sense holding that strong.
Yeah, look at him go. He is killing it right now. Meatmap having some slight issues, but Spidu's rocking the double S and shows no signs of stopping. He really cracked that slightly more difficult to time section as well.
Yeah, look at the hit bar that he has in the judgment lines. Really centered this time, a little bit early, but not that much. As you can see, he hit like 200s on that section, but still holding a really good score on, edging the difference like around 15,000 points. Meatmap is also doing really good, but it's not going to be enough despite of the miss. I don't believe he will take that one anyways.
Yeah, I think at this point it's pretty much all Spidu's game. He may have lost the last two maps, but this one, as you mentioned, and as Shoegazer mentioned, he really loves it, so his performance here, not entirely unexpected, and pretty well done from him, I'd say.
Yeah, amazing accuracy, I have to say. Like, even with a map that is so difficult to time, hitting that ratio, that's like 13-1. That's awesome. Like 997,000.
Yeah, that is really well done from him, actually. 118 golden 300s, wow.
Yep, and seems like it was his best accuracy so far. So well done by Spider. It's time him to pick, and he's going for a run. Once again, another pick that makes a lot of sense for me.
Finally. This was banned last match. I'm so glad we're finally seeing it.
Yeah, this map is really tricky as well. A map where you can easily choke. You have to like you usually have issues reading the burst sections of here. I mean, that's my case. But I can see Spider not having that much issues here. I mean, judging by the performance that he got on the last star, he probably won't have much issues here as well. This is like round, and last star are probably the two maps that you want to combine. Like, if you're good in one of those, you're probably good at both of those.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by the fact that asymmetry is being so much ignored. Like, that's a really, that's not a really risky pick. It's mostly a consistency pick. But I believe in this level, where everyone can score good accuracies, might not be the best. Still,
Yeah, I think that's really the main reason why it's been, to use your word, ignored as much as you have, because it's not technically challenging, not really, and the rhythm isn't, you don't need to focus as much either. The patterns aren't something to sneeze at, but they're definitely not as complex as some of the other maps in the pool as well. So given the relative skill of all the participants, it seems like, you know, you need to be really consistent to be able to hold your own and take the victory in that map. And if you're not confident, you know, you wouldn't want to go for that.
yep. And with a map that is like so heavily focused on different aspects, like having long node picks, SB picks. If you're fighting a specific opponent, you usually don't want to go for a consistency battle. Usually you want to show their weakness first. And I believe we have the first drop of the match. No, we don't. That was just client lag. Spidu and meatmap are holding the same accuracy. And I believe that was a legit drop from Spidu.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Both players are holding quite strong here. Okay, that was a legit drop. No, it wasn't. Every time
No,
I
it was not.
say legit drop, oh man, this is hard. But yeah, accuracies are really, really close to each other, entering into the last thirds of the song. And Spider holding a decent lead around 4,000, something that accuracy will probably not be enough to edge. I believe meatmap right now needs a miss from Spider in order to catch up. And his accuracy is getting hit hard in that section, hitting even 1 to 100. And as you can see, this map was banned for a reason. As like all players are having accuracy issues here.
Yeah, those 1-6 sections and the little snares that kind of catch you off guard. You have to really focus and time them correctly to make sure your accuracy doesn't take too big a hit. I think it was actually.
It was a drop. Now the scores are really close.
Yeah. Oh man, going into the really last slice of pie on this map. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, this is 2,000 points. Still not that big. meatmap with a full combo was not going to be able to catch up at the end, just because of his accuracy. And Spider will end up taking that one.
Yeah, I mean, meatmap's accuracy, it's just, he dug himself into a hole there and he just couldn't climb out quickly enough. A bit unfortunate too, because he had a slight chance at the end, but if he hadn't taken as many hits as he had, he might have been able to throw a couple rights in there.
Yep. Like, look at the 200 count. There is the difference. Like,
oh, and here we go. Asymmetry.
We were talking about that map. And I believe this is, I mean, in this scenario where both players full combo, I believe Spider didn't full combo a single song. Only the last star. Only the last star. That's the only one that he full comboed. But in a scenario where with both players full combo the song, Spider probably has the advantage on asymmetry. The thing is, will Spider be able to keep the full combo until the end here for this real song?
You did notice, or you did note rather, that Spidu can have some consistency issues every now and then. This map is basically consistency incarnate, so unless he does real good, he might, you know, have a bit of a struggle here.
Yep. I wonder if we... I mean, it's really hard. Both players have issues with consistency when it comes to hit double S's, so I'm not sure if we will be able to see a double S here. But if we have to see that in one map, that is the map. I mean, this is the map which is easily the easier to double S.
Yeah, but the length, you've got to consider that too. It's over 4 minutes, I think, asymmetry. Just barely over 4, but over 4 nonetheless.
So there we go, first slow jam. Both players I believe both players are hitting fine. I'm not sure if that was a miss from meatmap. No, it just wasn't. Spidu did drop a bit of accuracy at the beginning, I believe, but still holding a really good ratio, and the difference is around 200 points. Not that big. Not that big. It's so close.
Yeah, the scores are almost flickering, just barely above it all.
Yep, but here's the thing, meatmap is now hitting the streams a little bit earlier and dropping his double S because of that. Spidu though is holding really centered accuracy as well in the little bit of the early section, but holding reasonably strong. I believe his ratio is a lot better than meatmap's here.
Yeah, I think that's what's keeping him above board right now, considering they have the exact same accuracy. Scores are very, very close, but Spidu just has a slight advantage, possibly again because of that little ratio difference.
It definitely is. Like, the difference here is around 1,000, maybe less. I mean, if it is 1,000, the difference of ratio is really good, but does not look like that's going to be the difference here. I believe we have to wait until the last slow jump, because that's probably the harder one, because it comes just after a long stream, and this map has barely no long nodes, so this is probably a strong thing for meatmap and Spidu, both of them having issues with long nodes in general.
Yeah, on a map like this, you can't really, predict. It depends on whichever player screws up first, if I may use the term.
Wait. Oh, that wasn't a drop. Damn.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
I believe that was a 200 drop from meatmap, so that's going to be a difference. But here is the thing. Here's the place where most of the players drop. But seems like both players trained the map pool, and both players completely nailing the slow jump here. With
no issues from either of them on that.
Yep, with almost no map remaining, the SV changes is not going to be a thing for any of these players. And right now it's all up to consistency, how strong both players can stand when it comes to the last stream of the map. Will Spidu be able to break the point here, winning mid-map's point and forcing one last map? Have to wait and see. Both players are holding really strong, but that was a 200 from mid-map. Still not going to be a big deal. Spidu's still in the lead.
Yeah, Spidu had a slight lead there, but that 200, I think it pretty much sealed it. I don't think meatmap is going to be able to take it. Again, going into the absolute last section.
Yeah, into the last 100 cores are not going to be hard enough for Spidu to break, and this is going to be a win for him by 3,000 points. Really good performance by both players here, both hitting the 990k. So really well played by Spidu here, only 200 and really good ratio as well. Mid-map a little bit behind, but still with a really decent score. That score can probably outbeat most of the players here. But yep, that's going to be it for Asymmetry, and only the Yuikonu Long Note song is remaining. And I believe Spidu has an advantage on that, so we saw Midmap having issues with the long nose in general. I don't think we saw that, but we have information about him that not being that strong when it comes to long nose. Spidu, I remember his score on Imaginary Walls, which is really decent. And that's a really complex long note pick in general, so he might have an advantage here. Though the style of the long nose in both maps are really different in my opinion. Tsukimi Recita has that thing of intention. There's the last section of this map is so cruel.
Yeah, the last section of this one where everything just goes crazy is it really just the amount of long notes and everything combined.
But yeah, this is like same scenario of SaintEyes against Arkener now that I think about it. 3-2 in favor of Spidu. Spidu is the player that you expect him to win this point. Maybe meatmap makes a huge comeback, such as Arkener did.
It's very possible.
Come on, Twitch chat, show your support to both of the players. Spidu or meatmap.
Twitch chat is just gonna support April. You know what they're like.
Definitely.
I personally wouldn't mind seeing it again either. I think it'd be really interesting to see how these two do on that, but meatmap, of course, wants to avoid that at all costs. He's going to be giving it his all here. Yep. Oh, sorry, I meant Spidu. Meatmap needs a tiebreaker this
And I'll be honest, if we see 2 tiebreakers in a row, man, we are the commentators with more luck ever.
I know, right? But yeah, this map in particular, as Juan mentioned, the ending is really the killer here. The beginning is quite simple, nothing really to shake a stick at. As long as you hold your consistency, you'll be fine. But once you get to the ending, you really got to start paying attention, making sure your fingers don't lock up, keeping it all in check, because that's where all the magic happens, and you don't want to miss the hand there.
Yep, and seems like Spidu's having issues when it comes to accuracy for long notes, but the score is still on his favor despite the lead that meatmap has when it comes to accuracy. That's a huge lead of accuracy, actually.
Yeah,
still not enough.
Despite that, I think it's must be the ratio at work there. Scores are still very, very close though, as we go into a slightly more difficult long note section.
I wonder if that was just client lag or not, because I believe meatmap stopped playing for a second. Like he stopped playing for like
drops and some of those.
That was a really good thing.
Tabbed out by accident. His accuracy has not fixed itself on my screen, so did that look like a legitimate section failure there? What's going on?
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. If that was like a Windows tab or something like that, Windows update. Hello, I'm here to. Yeah, I'm here to troll your match. Hello. Oh, that's so unfortunate though. He was holding really good. I mean, it's not fair.
Yeah, it was lag or something there. That's just not. Yeah, it looks like that was a legitimate break and a little rage give up on meatmap's part there. I mean, it's really unfortunate when something like lag or a pop-up just throws you off completely. Go on.
I mean, it doesn't really make that much sense if he rage quitted, in my opinion, because Spidu's dropping so much combo here. He will probably come back here. He's almost going to come back right now, so I believe that was just a tab or something. That's so unfortunate. But because of that, it seems like Spidu will be advancing to the round 16 in the winner's bracket, and meatmap will be moved down to the loser's bracket. Yes, you can see screen froze for meatmap. Such an unfortunate thing.
That is not how I expected the match to end. How unfortunate.
Yeah. Sadly for meatmap and probably all the people watching, it ended up being like this. I mean, even if Spidu won that one, it's like a shame to see this kind of drops happening.
Yeah, you always want a legitimate ending to a match. When outside factors come in, it just really throws off the curve and leaves everyone unhappy.
But well, with that being said, we still have 25 minutes of downtime here until the next and last match of this block.
which will be...
Oh, let me check it. I believe it's going to be Aitor against Stratos. Yeah, it's Aitor
alright.
against Stratos. So Aitor 98 against Stratos, as well known as Josemba from FFR. It's going to be an Hispanic duel between Spain and Venezuela. And honestly, I'm not sure which player is going to win that. That's, in my opinion, one of the best matches that we might see here in this series. It might happen that it's a stomp 4-0 because that happens all the time. Every time I said that a match is going to be close in Mania, it usually is a 4-0 blast with really close scores, but still a 4-0. But
I don't know, after those last two matches,
yeah,
I don't know if I can handle another really, really close one.
Definitely. We have luck here, man. We're seeing so many close matches here.
Yeah, these games have been amazing. Really, kudos to the participants. They did really well to show up here and play like they did. Especially when you consider that some of them, like Arkener, for example, he'd just woken up minutes before the match was due to start.
I can see Stratos doing the same thing, honestly. I know he's probably going to do the same thing. I believe it is like the match is going to be 10 and a half a.m. for him, which is early, but not that big of a deal.
Yeah, if you wake up slightly before that, you should be fine.
It's really particular though to see matches like this. When you see Mania World Cup, which is team-based as well, you often see 4-0s. You don't really see close matches that much. And when you see this tournament, despite being 1v1, you have like all the matches are like close.
I think that actually makes sort of sense from a different viewpoint, because if you consider the players who play in the Mania World Cup against each other, you've usually got something along the lines of 3 very strong players going up against 2 very strong players and someone who's extremely strong but not quite at the same level as everyone else. So in that respect, a close match becomes a bit more difficult to obtain, simply because of the variance in skill between everybody who's on screen.
Yeah, that's true. Like team-based tournaments overall are harder to get tiebreakers. Like that's the thing. If you have a score cap and accuracy is all that matters, in this case, if someone chokes or something, you can easily win a point just by choking.
Pretty much.
Even if you're not better.
I think the map pool factors into that as well. It's something you actually mentioned, Juan, earlier, is that when matches are really close, that's representative of the strength of the map pool as a whole as well. And I think that sort of factors into why we don't get as many close matches during the MWC compared to something like Soft.
Yeah, that's true. Map pools are definitely a huge factor as well when it comes to close matches. Like Mania World Cup had, I'm not sure if it will have that one as well the next year, but it had that thing that every map, all the maps were like same skill sets test. Like most of them were consistency, then most of them were accuracy, then most of them were speed. You didn't have a map pool that it was like, well, you had these 2 or 3 picks for SV, these 2 or 3 for long nodes, and you have something for everything. In this case, you have, even with only 9 maps, because you banned 2, even with 9 maps, you see all the matches being so close.
Yeah, it's the way the maps themselves vary is also really interesting to see the effects, because you take a map like the Igor map, for example. It has sections which are a bit different from each other, and the slightly different skill set that's needed to do each section really impacts how each player performs on it. So while we're waiting, we have approximately 20 minutes left before our next match is due to start. If you guys have any questions, you can throw them our way, and we, the mods, will do our best to answer them to the best of our ability. Or you could just blame Juan for everything that we're not able to answer.
Yeah, that always works. Oh yeah, I believe we never talked about it. The match between Cabo and the Meadow was win by default in favor of Cabo, which was being played at the same time of this one.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought they'd finished the match and packed up and left. Didn't realize it was a win by default.
Yep, I believe it was a win by default. I mean, the Emperor link shows that. So, Demito's knock is getting knocked down into the losers bracket, and Cabo advanced through the round of 16. Cabo is probably one of the strongest candidates to win the whole thing, I have to say.
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely among the favorites to take the gold home.
I would say Cabo, Yurusai, maybe Poke Gadget. It's going to be hard to predict who's going to win, honestly.
We'll have to check out the final map pool before we can make that decision.
Now that you say that, yeah, I can imagine something real cruel from the map selectors. Well, you know that a song is good if you don't close the tournament client in standby time, and you don't notice that they are playing the same song once again.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I haven't closed it either. I was just about to mention that. Funny that you bring it up.
Connection, synergy.
Hey. I see someone mentioning 8K in the chat. What key modes do you personally play, Juan?
Oh, you really want to embarrass myself that much?
No, it's fine. It's a 4K tournament. No embarrassment here. Just a question.
Yeah, I play 4 key, yeah. I like to play 6 key. I'm not really particularly strong on that, but I can also do 5 key with some issues. 7 key I tried, but I'm like, nope. Spacebar is killer for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty rubbish at 7 key myself too, but 7+1 key is actually something that I really enjoy playing. I just love hitting the scratch key on my shift button. It feels really good.
I would love to have the coordination on my hands to play higher key modes, but I just can't. I need to train, and I don't have the time to train right now, sadly.
Yeah,
maybe next summer.
No, go on. I've been playing. I played pretty much exclusively 4 key for a long time because I just could not get 7 key into my brain. A friend of mine, Tarapu, actually, he pretty much forced me to play 10 key with him, and after that I was like, you know what, maybe 7 key isn't so bad after all.
But you can always play the piano. That's like ultimate key.
Oh god, trust me, they're not the same thing. I mean, piano and mania are just way too different to even compare. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to coordination, it works. It even works in a really different way because you're not moving your hands while you're playing Mania. You're just moving your fingers.
I think 5K is a really interesting key mode to play if you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, 5K has the thing that you have like a lot of styles to play. You can play with spacebar, without the spacebar. I particularly try to play with spacebar, and I'm like, what I am doing? So I just play 5 fingers, and that's it. But I believe 5 key with spacebar is like one of the best ways to try and learn 7 key.
For me, it was more the technical style of 7 key that I really couldn't get used to. Like I don't have enough coordination to be hitting a long note on 3 separate keys and then a stream on the other 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I mean, the only thing that I can keep from my 4 key to other modes is that I have good accuracy, like decent accuracy. And when I play 7 key, for example, I watch the leaderboards of Argentina. I mean, they're not the best way to like compare yourself to something because we don't really have the best thing ever. But we have some good 7 key players. And when I play, I get like 16 misses, for example, and I have better ratios than the number 1 score of my country. And I'm like, well, if only I train. But then I suddenly think, I don't have the time to train. Let's just leave the 7 key pros, play 7 key, and I will just play 4.
I mean, I feel that if you practice it enough, then maybe it's a form of Stockholm Syndrome, but you eventually start to like it, because I had something similar with the Taiko game mode where I was like, no, my brain can't process this, my eyes are dying, I'm becoming old just trying to play this game mode, I'm not even going to bother. But then, you know, once I started getting into it more, I ended up actually not hating it as much, and I really enjoy it to this day.
Yeah, same thing happened here. I was like, Taiko, this is so, like, this is like playing 2K, but in a different way. I mean, instead of playing Taiko, why not just play 2K? But then I tried to play it, and I found it funny, like really cool. It happened for me to all the mods. Same for Catch the Beat. I was like, it's just catching fruits. You have your Ryuta, you have to move it. Yeah, it's so much more than that. I mean, having the limited move speed, it's also something that I don't really love, but I understand that.
Yeah. Question from Lim38. He wants to know our thoughts on the next match, Aitor versus Stratos. And you were actually mentioning stuff about that earlier, so I think I'll let you take that one, Juan.
Alright, yeah, we were talking about this, about how close Aitor and Stratos is in the pre-match, of course. We have to wait and see how both players perform. But in the theory, both players are one of the strongest consistency players that I ever saw, for the Spanish community at least. Aitor is well known because of his overall performance. He's really good at everything. I can't think the main weakness that he has is SB changes most of the time, so he might have some trouble there. But then you have Stratos, which is not the strongest long note player, but I know because he played on my previous tournaments. He improved a lot when it comes to long notes. Like, he trained a lot. He comes from FFR where you have no long notes, and now he can almost do nodal maps, so he's improving a lot. But the thing is, long notes will always be the main weakness of Stratos, and with a pull like this, the Ricano song is definitely going to be banned by Stratos. I'm absolutely sure that will happen. From Aitor, we just have to wait and see how he takes the match, because he's the one that has the advantage in the theory, but we don't really know how much he knows about Stratos. Both of them are friends, but I believe they didn't talk that much this week because, you know, strategy and everything. We have to see. I mean, Aitor have chances in picks like Over the Clouds, but that's also one of their weakness. So it's a game where they have to play with their weakness instead of the weakness of the other. Because if you want like to outbeat Stratos when it comes to long nodes, it's not that impossible. But if you have issues with that as well, you need to train hard in order to get a good score on. So it's like a cycle. That's why I think this match is going to be that close.
Yeah, I mean, if you put it that way, then certainly from both the players' perspectives, they're really going to have to put some thought into how they pick and how they play, considering the map pool consists of about 7 maps once you've banned your 2 maps, of course. So you really got to think on your feet and practice, and I do hope they practice for this one, because from what you said, it sounds like it's going to be a tight gig.
Yeah, I remember Stratos practicing a lot. I don't know about Aitor, but I believe he also trained at least these last couple of days. So yeah, it's a really promising match for sure. I mean, I can see Aitor banning something random, like something that we don't expect. For example, the last star, or maybe run, run, run. Because, I mean, I believe run, run, run is the best ban for Aitor, because Stratos comes from FFR, and that particular map has a really FFR style. So it definitely benefits Stratos. So using the ban on that makes a lot of sense. But
Yeah, I
we really
can see where you're coming from.
we really have to wait and see, though. I mean, we still have 8 minutes until the match actually starts. We have to see the warm-ups, we have to see how ball players feel, and then we can judge. I mean, we can do a lot of analysis, but the analysis is just theory. We just have to wait in the practice, see how ball players perform.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we talk a lot about how the match will be, but we never said who's going to win that.
That's true. We gave them a politician's answer. We didn't answer the question, but we told them everything else.
Juan for president. Blame Juan is my theme.
Great slogan.
Yeah, blame slogan. But yeah, if I had to pick someone to win this one, I will go for Aitor. But if it goes to tiebreaker, I go for Stratos.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from with that, having seen the tiebreaker map. But we'll just have to wait and see, I suppose. Well, there seems to be a lot of support for Aitor, so I guess I'm going to go with Stratos just to even things out a bit.
In my predictions, I told that Aitor was going to win, but still, this is the match for the upsets, for sure.
Yeah, we've had some really close ties here, so a few unexpected results, particularly in this block, so I wouldn't be surprised to see, well, another surprise.
If you're not surprised about seeing a surprise, is that a surprise?
Exactly, just still a surprise then. It's like that saying, like, unexpected but completely expected. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes as much sense as Arkener winning Drew Corners.
Very true.
So only 3 minutes remaining for the last match of the block. And one of the most promising of the whole round. Both players are actually online, they're not in the room still. They are still warming up. So we will see both players performing here. I really like Stratos' avatar, like the profile picture. It's like the Firefox.
What is his profile picture? Let me see that real quick. Oh, yeah, simple but elegant. I like it. But yeah, as you mentioned, ETA 2 minutes to start, and both players are online. We do have that confirmed, so once they pop into the lobby, we'll get started with the warm-ups.
So 1 more minute and we will be ready to go. We have Idra already here. We're just waiting for Stratos. And yes, Stratos just reply me.
Oh, here you go. Both of them are in the lobby now. Excellent.
Yep. Stratos just sent me a PN saying, "Match time, bro. I'm so ready for this." Oh yeah.
At least he's pumped. That's always a good sign.
Seems like we should be ready to start as soon as both players link their warm-ups, and they are talking in Spanish, as you can see.
Translate for us, Juan.
Let's see what happens here, Stratos. Oh, I love this song and I love this map. Not this difficulty, but I love this map. This is a map by Shoegazer, Hold Angel, featured in the Mania World Cup semi-finals pool.
Ah, that's where I've seen it. I knew it sounded familiar.
It was the insane difficulty, not the Halloween one, but I can tell you that this is a 300 BPM, and this has burst, so yeah, you need speed for this.
Looks like Stratos is having a few connection issues on his side. Once he wraps those up, we should be good to go. Oh, there we go. He's back. Alright, Stratos is back in, so if he's patched up his connection a bit, we should be getting started here.
Yeah, and it seems like Stratos is having some connection issues overall. Like, I know that Venezuela is a country that had issues with internet most of the time, so...
Yeah, according to Arkener, he's just lagging out all over the place right now. I can't really blame him. I mean, there are a lot of countries around the world, and I can say this from personal experience as well, just when you're having internet connectivity issues, just everything's breaking all at once, and there's really not much you can do about it.
I have a question, I believe, from Lima as well. You talk about a statistic for the previous round of the tournament. I don't know if you released it. I believe we released it. I'm not sure. I was talking because I remember that, but just that. And there we go. Seems like both players are finally ready. Stratos is still with lag, so we have to see. You're ready for this, Arf?
Here we go.
It's funny because I can see Stratos playing, but I cannot see Aitor's. I just see a cursor on the Aitor screen. I'm not sure if you have the same thing.
I didn't realize they had started playing. Alright then.
I'll just picnic, see what happens. No, Aitor still booked for me. I am seeing Stratos playing at least. That's something. Well, let's see if we can keep up the client for the actual maps, because I believe the warm-ups are not working that good.
Yeah, something seems to be going wrong here. Not 100% sure.
Well, judging by the match result, at least we can tell that Aitor took the first warm-up for 20,000 points, a little bit less than that of difference. So we have to wait a little bit. Let's see if we will end up doing a new multiplayer room, trying to fix this issue. If not, we will wait for confirmation to see what we are going to do about this match, because at this current stage, it's not likely that we can stream this. I mean, it's not that we don't want, but you just are seeing what is happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues. The combination of our connection to the client and their connection to the client, it's not syncing together very well. We do apologize for the trouble, but it's a bit unavoidable considering that we're using the tournament client.
Yep.
Nightbot, you're drunk. Go home.
Aitor versus meatmap. Okay. And yeah, we have a new multiplayer room already, I guess. You cannot move yourself because the room is locked.
Yep.
Hey, at least we can hear a cool song. I mean, this is like the type of songs that I usually dislike, but this case, it's different.
It is a very nice track. It does look like Stratos is having a couple more connection issues. So we're just waiting for him to pop back. Oh, all right. Finally, the curse does something positive. Welcome back, Stratos. We should get started. Wait, he's silenced?
No, he's going to get that silence if he talks too much. I'm just advising them.
Oh yeah, if he's lagging and he's actually typing and it tries to send all the messages at once, it is possible they could get silenced, actually. Oh, he's back. Let's see if we can establish communication this time.
Well, I can tell that Stratos has a pretty stable connection, like 2 kilobits per second. That's better than any of us, I think, out of even without problems.
Yeah, I mean, double digits I'm used to, but single digits, That's a special kind of situation right there. Yeah, at this point, it's looking as though Stratos' connection isn't quite going to allow him to play. I think he's even having trouble maintaining communication with our referee at the moment, so... We're just waiting on a final decision as to what's going to happen here. We'll keep you guys informed.
All right. So yeah, this match, we just had confirmation. This match is not going to be played now. We will try to see if we can delay it a little bit, maybe later, maybe tomorrow. We really want to stream this match because this is a really close match, and this match has been scheduled to be streamed in particular. If we somehow cannot make that goal be true, we will try to at least leave these players to play. But as you can see, Stratos' connection is not up to par in order to play it. We have to figure out if it is just internet connection issues. Maybe he's not playing at a time where the internet is alright in Venezuela. I know that that country has a lot of issues usually when it comes to internet connections. So we will try to figure out what the problem is and try to fix it as soon as possible. But whatever the decision we take, I mean, if this match is going to be played or not, when it's going to be played, everything will be updated in the tournament thread. If not, you will see it on the Discord channel. We will publish the information as soon as we get to know what is going on. But for now, we're of course not going to stream this because it's like impossible. Even if we make those two players play the match, it's literally impossible to stream something like this. The connections are not stable and we cannot really do anything about that. So we will wait a little bit. Let's see if Stratos can revive somehow or something like this. But for now, we will wait and close the stream until the next wave of matches that are at 7 p.m. I mean, at 19 UTC. I'm not sure which matches we will have. I believe it's Jeep Jab Job against Felipe Link. So we'll have another close match going on right there. So guys, stay tuned for that. And we will see two matches. Crabble versus Adrian. Oh yeah, that's true. Crabble versus Adrian is also going to be a really, really good match to watch. So we will have two more matches, 19 and 20 UTC. So we will take a break of around 3.5 hours, I believe it is. So guys, stay tuned for that, and thank you all for watching here, and thank you Arf as well for joining here and commenting with me.
No problem. We'll see you guys at 19 UTC, hopefully.
Yep.